Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today. It's kind of a sad one too. I am up at Casa Romanica, which is the cultural center that was donated to the city of San Clemente about, I think, in the 20s. And guy had this big house and built it on this beautiful bluff and donated it. But now it is closed, guys. It's done. And we're going to show you this. I can't get into the property. I filmed this about a year and a half ago, and beautiful spot. You know, they have weddings here. It's just absolutely fantastic, but it's absolutely closed because of a landslide. And today we're going to talk about bye-bye banks. Bye, bye-bye, bye-bye banks, okay? Going to be a big week for that. But before I get into it, please take a second. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you get notified of everything. Sign up for the email list because one's going out right away. And also we have Patreon if you'd like to get more access to me. And today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold, which I will talk about later. But it is anticipated with the fall of First Republic that is going to be, in the hands of the FDIC right now. It's just a matter of time until 200 other banks are, realize how much trouble they're in. Now, story out of the UK, out of the Independent, which is great, talking about how bad these banks are doing and how there are 200 banks that have, think about this, a combined negative net worth of minus $2 trillion because they have unrealized losses on their books. So think about this. If, in fact, there was a run of the bank, it could easily happen. But this is sad, guys. This place is beautiful. And if you can take a look at this little sign, Casa Romanica is closed because of the landslide on the back. And I was hoping to go out and take a look at it. The mayor was out here this week, all the city engineers and things like that. But this old building, this is beautiful. The building looks sound right now. But the problem with it is that you've got the landslide behind it, which is the park, which was the cool part to walk through. I mean, the old house, the old hacienda, nice to walk through. It's beautiful. It's got the architecture with the, hand-laid and handmade tiles and things like that. But man, oh man, have you just seen this issue with this place? And they don't want us out there, but everything is just falling off a cliff. Oh, you can see it over there. Wow, it's just collapsing through there. But it's tragic. Now, with these banks, let's go back to that. The problem that you have is that Silicon Valley Bank had unrealized losses on their books. And then when they bought all these bonds and the interest rates went up, they found themselves upside down. Well, you have 200 banks that are like that right now. So what are we going to end up with? Is Jamie Dimon going to buy everything? Okay, that's what's going to happen. Check to see the financial condition of where you have your money. You have to have multiple banks right now, multiple credit unions, places to pay people. You have to have that. We all have to have that. But what we're experiencing right now is that these banks right now are completely upside down. It's just a matter of time until we have more collapses. What they don't want to have happen is to cause a panic right now to where people are going to take off and run and pull their money out of the banks. Think about this. I've done so many banking videos. I've done so much research on this. If 1% of the people in just the United States, let's forget about the UK, let's forget about Canada, Australia, every place, the United States, 1% of the people pulled their money out. There's not enough money to back to support that. The banks would be upside down. It's that bad. So what's going to happen with these other banks? So many people keep writing me that all the terms and conditions are changing with your banks. You guys can have online banking. You can have your, get your statements via the email. It is incredibly easy for them to send you updates from your bank that you don't pay attention to. I'm telling you, if you have it, with the paper statement, you've got to agree to this stuff. It's completely different. I have that, and I've asked so many people at different banks if that's the case. Yeah, it may delay things, but when you go online, we can have you agree to it then. Guys, that's how they're tricking all of us right now, is this way. So Silicon Valley Bank went down. Great report below about how just mismanagement. Signature Bank, mismanagement. I mean, who else is mismanaged? We don't know. You know, bankers are smug people, okay? It's funny, I was in Vegas last week with the Economic Ninja and Financial Prepper, and I hopped into an elevator. One person recognized me. One guy, I said, "Oh, are you going to the money show?" "Excuse me, are you speaking to me?" And he goes, "I'm going to the banking show." And he was a jerk. And I'm like, "Oh, you're a banker. That makes total sense." And everybody else laughed in the elevator. But the guy was just a tool. And anyways, how dare I speak to him because I'm a peasant. But the point is that these people don't care for us. They're smarter than us. They give themselves better deals, and we're going to get caught holding the bag. You mark my words, we're going to be left with such a huge bag of excrement when it comes to First Republic that Jamie Dimon is going to end up, "Oh, this is beautiful," and it's going to be a joke. But mark my words, these other banks that were potential suitors like PNC, who are they going to buy? Recently, a friend of mine handling, her mother's estate, and Union Bank just were merged with US Bank, and there's not clarity on where she makes the house payment to. And said, don't just make it, you got to contact them. This is what's wrong. They're the first ones to reach out to us when there's an issue to tell us something is wrong and what they're going to do to us. But we want to pay you, we want to be on time, we don't want late fees, we don't want to have extra fees. That's the last thing they're going to do. So share your thoughts on this stuff so far. I'm going to walk down to the beach and get you guys some better coverage. Okay, let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Now has never been a better time to take your own finances into your own hands. With the central banks buying so much gold, with the de-dollarization happening right before our eyes, and also the Fed's threat that they're not going to raise interest rates anymore, it's made it right for gold to shoot up to $2,500 an ounce. You need to call Patriot Gold today, 888-330-1431, and find out how you can get an IRA or 401k that's backed by physical metals. Do it now before it's too late. But also, a couple things. Bank of America, they just stepped forward and said we could easily see gold at $2,500 an ounce. Hello, you don't want to miss out on this, guys. Call them today, 888-330-1431. I love the Patriot Gold Group. I've been a spokesman for a while now. I'm a customer of theirs, and I think that their service is second to none. They have been #1 rated for consumer affairs for 7 years in a row now. Do yourself a favor. Call them today and find out how they can help you with your retirement. 888-330-1431. Let them know that I allegedly sent you, and find out before it's too late. I wanted to show you guys something. I am behind Casa Romanica, and the Hillside has fallen into the railroad tracks. Guys, this was closed for 2 months because of a problem down the way with this. So this is just getting worse right now, but it's not the best view, but let me show you. Here's an amazing angle. You can see the deck behind that old building, how it's just fallen, and the concrete's completely given way. That building is next. Now, I always love it when you guys send me stuff. I want to thank Brad for these next 2 stories because they're amazing. And the first one is a company called Lazard. Lazard is an investment bank. This investment bank is laying off 10% of its staff as of last Friday. Now, the big deal with that is layoffs happen, it's commonplace right now in 2023. What's the big deal is the way that this story is written. When you read the story, these guys are convinced that the M&A business, mergers and acquisitions, will never be the same for years to come. And 2023, they're hedging their bet and they are shoring up the company to get rid of the fact that this is not going to be a good place to be right now. That's wild, guys. That's absolutely wild. So since December 2022, they said the mergers and acquisitions have fallen off a cliff and that they don't see that this getting better anytime soon. Okay? The next thing is a builder out of Canada. Now, they're having trouble, but they say they're not. Now, here's the cool thing. Kingset Mortgage is in a bankruptcy proceeding, and they owe like $17 billion, okay, mortgage company. They called out Stateview Builders and says, hey, we doubt that Stateview has enough money to operate and complete the properties that they're working on. And they've got hundreds and hundreds of units that they're working on right now. Uh-oh. Well, that's a vote of confidence. How'd you like to be their subcontractor? How would you like to be the person that put her deposit down 8 months ago and the houses are behind? Oh, don't worry, they're coming. You're going to see more builders globally that are going to go out of business. So this bankruptcy proceeding, they're sitting there talking about how these guys don't have the money. Now, Stateview steps forward and says, of course we do. We have money to finish the projects. We have no problem with the financing. If you read this, you would sit there and seriously doubt that, because these are the ones that know. These are the ones that know the funding and what money that they have. They said that they don't have enough money to operate right now. So once again, you're going to see more people lie to you and not tell you the truth right now when it comes to things like this. But you people that have to buy a house right now, oh, I got to have it. We got to get the deposit. We got to get on that street. I am telling you this right now. I have a man that lives in Canada. I'm not going to say even his first name because it's a different name. And he is with the unions, the trade unions there. And he is talking about how there's nothing but problems with projects getting completed, with funding, with permitting, with things getting canceled. And there's different premier properties that are on the water that people have waited decades to build on, and they're pulling the projects right now and telling the unions not to proceed, and that they're not going to proceed. So it's just a matter of time until this goes down. But investment banks are going down, builders are going down. And again, it does not make a bit of difference where you are at, around the globe. This is a problem. Now, the reason why I'm walking way down here is, the lifeguards are keeping people off of the Casa Romanica Hill and stuff like that. But you've also got the situation that these condos right here could be in jeopardy as well. Okay? So this whole hillside, hot, cold, wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry, eventually, it gives way. This is a real common thing in Southern California, that we have years of dry weather. Then we get a lot of rain like we've had this season, and the hillside shift. Newport Beach here. I mean, this is tragic. But that old house up there, how'd you like to have your wedding booked there? Seriously, okay? Jenny's wedding's in May. What are we going to do? Nothing. Jenny's going to find a new location and get fleeced by someone else. So that's what's going to happen, guys. But the grounds, the circular walkway, the place to get away, the romantic walk after the wedding, it's not going to happen, because there is no place to walk up there on that hill. Look around you. Look at what is happening. Be realistic with your own finances. I brought up something in the commercial. Bank of America, who's not gold, I don't want to say they're not gold friendly, but they just haven't spoken much. Now they're talking about a $2,500 an ounce gold. Okay, crazy. They're stepping forward and saying that all it's going to take is a hop, skip, and a jump to get to 2,500. Okay, get into it, guys. Get into it. The other thing is, we talked about, we're going to have Christmas in May. We're going to give away a bunch of stuff, and we're going to have, if you guys want to sponsor the Christmas in May event, send an email to hello@iAllegedly and put sponsor Christmas. That's all you got to do, okay? And we'll know that's exactly what it's for. But what you want to donate, we'll list your company. You'll get a little bit of press. You just got to donate something good other than, you know, a free consultation. You know what I mean? Make it something. And again, you can be an accountant and give away a gift card, and your accountant's agency will be recommended and talked about in the channel too. So giving away a bunch of stuff, like I said, gold, silver, a bunch of cool stuff's going to be given out. And the sponsors are going to step forward and give me a bunch of stuff. I guarantee it, okay? So let me know if you guys want to participate in that. Hello at iAllegedly list Christmas sponsor, because it's going to be Christmas in May, guys, okay? I want to show you guys this rocky beach. And as the tide shifts, you get more and more of the rocks that come out. It's kind of a cool thing. You just don't want to do this barefoot, to say the least, or swim out there when the tide's rough, because you'll just be pelted with rocks. A few things you guys sent me also. Laura sent me a picture from a Trumbull, Connecticut Macy's, where there's just spots of the store that are completely empty. And she did the obvious thing, where she walked to the store manager and said, hey, what's going on? Oh, we just can't get certain merchandise in, and we have a problem. Okay, well, when does Macy's go down for the count? Seriously, when is Macy's finished? Okay, great question. Thank you, Laura, for sending me that. Ernest sent me something crazy. Credit Karma. Did you guys know that Credit Karma was a bank? Who knew? Okay, I thought that they were just a free place to get your free credit report. Nope, they have a savings account that's over 4%. Okay, and Ernest sent me that. Crazy, 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 crazy. So would you put your money in a Credit Karma savings account? Would you do that? Okay? I don't know if I would do that. I'm all for diversity. That's, you know, that's one thing that's crazy with the banks. I would make sure that they were a legitimate bank, and then I could go there. How do you show up at the branch for Credit Karma? That's what I'm talking about, guys. The ability to go there, not just call them on the phone. And I don't even know if there is a Credit Karma phone number, okay? John, the final thing, sent me a great story out of the UK. I talked about that guy, Hugh Pill, who is a governor, I think that's his title, at the Bank of England, talking about how, hey, people in the UK just need to get used to being poor right now. Well, that degenerate lives with his mom and dad. He sent a great story from the UK where he's living in Mummy and Daddy's house. So, okay? You know, when you want a good accent, a good British, thick, guttural accent, to call this guy names, it would be right now. Okay? It would be fantastic. I can't do it, but because I don't have it, but you know what I mean? So Hugh Pill lives with mom and dad, okay? And this guy's telling you to get used to being poor. You should get used to being poor and accepting the fact that things are upside down financially. Jenny Craig, weight loss. Jenny Craig, weight loss centers, Jenny Craig food. They're going to go bankrupt this week, guys, okay? Down for the count. Now, this led me down this rabbit hole. What I mean by that was, somebody said, hey, here, Weight Watchers going down, take a look at it at a restaurant. And I'm like, no, I didn't, okay? So I started researching, and I go, no, wait a second, it's not Weight Watchers, it's Jenny Craig, okay? So Jenny Craig is in real serious trouble right now, but they talked about this, hey, with the internet, people are not doing things like they used to. They're using AI to lose weight. How is that? Since ChatGPT came out in the last 2 months, it's changed and killed Jenny Craig. I guarantee you there's a lot of people in their 50s and 60s that use Jenny Craig that have no idea what artificial intelligence is, let alone AI, let alone ChatGPT, but they're trying to tell you that this is the reason that they're going down for the count. But it led me down this path, and I found this really cool site that talks about companies in trouble and Weight Watchers. The probability of a bankruptcy for Weight Watchers was high. And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So Weight Watchers, they're not going bankrupt, they're just in trouble, and they have a probability rating of a potential bankruptcy. That is unbelievable, guys. That's the thing that we're looking at right now with the economy, is that people need to accept the fact that business is not going to be the same way. It's not the same way here, it's not the same way in Canada, it's not definitely in Australia, and in the UK, okay? It's completely different. But Q pill. Guys, come on. This fat blowhard telling you how it is, living with mom, okay? It's ridiculous, okay? Such a fraud, okay? So share your thoughts on that one, okay? And I love stuff like that, guys. I absolutely do. It's very funny and very fitting that degenerate did that. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this. This place is absolutely stunning, and it's very cool when the tide is low, like right now here in the morning. It's just fantastic. Very romantic, beautiful spot for a sunset. Sit up on the hill and watch it because it's just nothing to block it. It's beautiful, but it's really cool because you get to walk through the under the pier like this when the tide is low. First thing, Venmo, guys. The Cash App. Pay your friends, pay for services, pay for things like that. They just announced that you're going to be able to transfer crypto on Venmo. Not buy it, but like, hey, listen, Johnny's got Bitcoin and I want to send it to Mary. You're going to be able to do that. In May, you're going to be able to transfer crypto on Venmo. They're going to allow that. I don't know what the fees are, but that's going to be announced early this week now that we're in May. And cool, okay? Morgan Stanley, the investment bank, they're sounding the alarm on the commercial real estate market right now and saying that this is going to be worse than the last financial crisis and it's going to destroy things right now. So you're starting to see shenanigans in the commercial real estate market where people are not being able to pay for things. People are using deceptive practices to get people in the building. And this reminds me of a story that I lived firsthand. And, my girlfriend was looking at office space. This was about 8 years ago. And I was totally against it at the time. And there was this really sought after building that people were just fighting down the door to get into. And I thought, okay, that's interesting. Let's go take a look at it. And we met, our broker met with their broker, and their broker brought in the building manager just to give us the hype fest of how great the building was and how we have parties and this building. You guys don't understand. If you guys don't take this building today and lease this, someone's going to get it between now and Monday. This was a Friday afternoon. Someone's going to get this place between now and Monday, and you're going to be without because we just don't get vacancies here. And this is the best place to be. Overlooks the freeway, and it was her business and a lawyer that were going to share it together. And it's just near the courthouse. It's everything good. And I'm like, great. So this guy's going to pump it up, and let me show you guys around. Let me show you the gym. Let me show you where we have the barbecues and the parties and all this stuff. So it's very, a lot of positive things to it. Now, what's funny is my girlfriend, because of her illness, had a bout where she was sick over the weekend. Hey, we can't make a decision. We'll call you later. So I am at her office like the end of the following week, and I walk in and I hear a guy say, yeah, I'll come back. I'll finish my shift answering the phones and I'll be back, and I just need to go to the bathroom. So I didn't think anything about it. And I'm at the urinal in the bathroom, and I look up, and it's the building manager from that building. He wasn't the building manager. He was an actor. He worked for the management company. He was the guy that answered the phones. So you're going to see more stuff like that now. And I finished, washed my hands, and just sat there and just said, hey, can't wait to attend those parties. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? So the commercial real estate business is going to have nothing but problems, guys. Nothing but problems. And it's going to bring everything else down. It's going to bring the banks down. It's going to bring everything else down. But you can kid yourself. You can sit there and tell me how great the economy is. There's not a problem with cars. There's not a problem with boats. I'm telling you guys, whatever you want to buy. Since I did the last video on motorcycles, okay, I've had so many people write me, gosh, Dan, you're absolutely right when it comes to industrial equipment. we are scoring like we never have before. It's absolutely unbelievable. So, you know, thank you. You know, this has been great. We bought a bandsaw for $285. We bought a drill press for a couple $100. We got all this equipment for our office that we for our industrial supply company and manufacturing, and we just can't wait to get orders now. Crazy. Now, what was one of the most popular searches on Google last month? Okay, I love this one. Okay, how to buy gold. Okay, why? Everything's great. Nobody's worried about anything. How to buy gold, baby. Remember that. Okay? Don't just sit there, guys. Do something. Okay? I love being out here when it's cold and crisp like this. But share your thoughts on all this stuff right now. Have you ever had anybody do anything deceptive and you caught them and you just made them look like a complete horse? Let me know. I'm going to finish this video with these last few stories. And first thing, Elon Musk has cut parental leave down from 20 weeks down to 2, and everybody's flipping out over that. Wegmans, the store, is working on having self-service coffee. So no baristas, nobody working the coffee counter. You can use the Keurig machine and get your own coffee. I don't think it's a Keurig machine, but you know what I mean. So self-serve, people are flipping out like, oh my God. No, guys, they don't want to pay people and train people and have them quit and do it over and over and over and over again. And the final story is, this is what hell looks like. It is in San Francisco, California. Every single item at the CVS in San Francisco is under lock and key. Okay, now talking about your freedom to shop and your freedom to roam around and look. No, hey, can you open the case for me? I need shaving cream. Oh, I need this. Oh, I want to look at toothpaste. I want hairspray. I want hair gel. I want to look and compare the brands. You'd have to have some cat stand there with you and do that. Okay, hair gel's important. Okay, a lot of time. You know what I mean? But again, the end of civilization. Why anybody would want to live in that city? How you can pitch me how it's great. It's terrible. I used to love to go there. I used to, you know, take women there. I would go on business trips there. It was fantastic. I wouldn't be caught in San Francisco if it's to save my life. I wouldn't do it. So again, CVS, everything's under lock and key. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Send those stories to hello at iAllegedly. If you want to sponsor the Christmas in May, let us know. Hello at iAllegedly, what you want to donate, and we'll make arrangements with you, and you can get called out and put in all the email blasts and all that fun stuff, and that's going to be huge, okay? Onward and upward, guys. Like, subscribe, have a great week. It's going to be a banking fiasco this week. Don't forget that, okay? I will see you guys very soon.